the best relationship advice you've ever gotten? My grandfather pulled me aside at my engagement party, glass of whiskey in hand. The backyard was packed with family, string lights everywhere, but he wanted to talk away from the crowd. You want to know the real secret? He said, never go to bed angry as bulls. Oh, I laughed, thinking he was joking. My fiancée Sarah was across the yard showing off her ring to cousins. Grandpa wasn't smiling. Your grandmother and I, 58 years married. You know how many nights we went to bed mad? Hundreds. Know what happened? We woke up, remembered what we were fighting about, and realized it was stupid. He took a sip, looking over at Grandma, who was cutting cake. 1967. I forgot our anniversary. She didn't talk to me for 3 days. We still went to bed in the same bed, both furious. Fourth morning, she woke up laughing. Couldn't even remember why she was so mad. I shifted uncomfortably. So you're saying it's okay to go to bed angry? I'm saying it's going to happen whether you like it or not, he said. Marriage isn't a fairy tale. You'll fight. You'll say things you regret. Some nights you'll hate each other. So what's the actual secret then? I asked. He leaned in closer. Pick your last words carefully. Every single night before you sleep. Assume those might be the last words you ever say to her. Because one day, they will be. I felt a chill. That's dark, Grandpa. That's reality, he said. Your grandmother could have a heart attack tonight. I could stroke out tomorrow. Car accident next week. You don't get a warning. So make sure your last words are something you can live with. I thought it was morbid, but I nodded and thanked him anyway. 3 years into my marriage, we had this massive fight over money. I'd bought a $3,200 mountain bike without telling Sarah. She found the credit card statement and completely lost it. Are you serious right now? She said, holding up the paper. We're saving for a house. It was on sale, I said weakly. It's $3,000. You didn't even ask. She was right. I was defensive anyway. You don't ask before buying stuff for yourself. I bought groceries, not a second vehicle. We went in circles for an hour. Finally, I grabbed a pillow and headed for the couch. I'm done with this. Fine, she yelled. I laid there staring at the ceiling, replaying every word, getting angrier. The bike was a good deal. She was overreacting. We could afford it. Then around 2 a.m., Grandpa's advice hit me. Those words, last words. What if Sarah had an aneurysm tonight? What if I got in a car accident tomorrow? Would I'm done with this be the last thing I ever said to her? I went back to our bedroom, turned on the lamp. Sarah rolled over, eyes still wet from crying. What do you want? I love you, I said. I'm still mad. You're probably still mad, but I love you, and I'm sorry for not asking first. She stared at me for a long moment, didn't say anything back, just nodded and turned over. We both went back to sleep, angry. Next morning, 6:47 a.m., my phone rang. Grandma, voice shaking. It's your grandfather. Stroke. Come now. I woke Sarah up. We drove to the hospital in silence. Still hadn't really made up about the bike. When we got there, Grandma was in the waiting room, completely calm but pale. What happened? I asked. He woke up around midnight, couldn't move his left side, she said. But before we called 911, you know what he did? He looked at me and said, I love you so much. She started crying then. Even having a stroke, he made sure those were his words. My throat tightened. What did the doctor say? They don't know yet. Major stroke. He might not make it. Grandpa survived, barely. Left side paralyzed. Couldn't talk right for months. But when I finally got to see him alone in recovery 2 weeks later, he grabbed my hand with his good one. His speech was slurred, but clear enough. See? You never know. I started crying right there. Told him about the fight with Sarah, about the bike, about coming back at 2 a.m. to say I love you. He squeezed my hand harder. Good, he whispered. That's the whole point. Not about being perfect. About making sure your last words count. He made a full recovery eventually. Lived another 11 years. Never quite walked the same, but his mind stayed sharp. That night changed everything for me and Sarah. Now, 12 years married, we still fight. Last month, we had a huge blowout over her mother moving in with us. Week before that, I forgot to pick up our daughter from soccer, and she had to wait in the rain for 40 minutes. We go to bed angry sometimes. We're not perfect. We still have the bike, actually. I ride it with our daughter now, but I never ever let Sarah sleep without hearing I love you. Sometimes she says it back right away. Sometimes she just nods, still furious at whatever I did. Doesn't matter, because Grandpa was right. You never know which good night is your last one. 3 months ago, Grandpa passed away in his sleep. Natural causes.
Click the link in my profile to watch the exciting follow-up.